Hello everyone, it is Ashley Fields with Yard Art R Us, and today we are going to be working on our Ho 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 blank. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to get this video shared on all of our pages, and then we will hop right back on into this. This guy has a lot of different kind of patterns and things that we're going to use on him. So our painting style today will be just a little bit different than what you guys typically see us do. Get it there. Okay. Just making sure I get it shared. Hey Mom, hey Debbie, how are y'all? Good morning, or good afternoon, y'all. It is not morning. I have been working like a crazy woman today. Y'all, my watch is even telling me to breathe. I've been working like crazy getting blanks ready for next week. Next week we are doing on Monday night our sneak peek with our Halloween and fall blanks. And so I've been working on getting some samples painted for you guys, as well as running the machine. So lots of fun stuff coming. So make sure you guys tune in Monday night, 7 p.m. for our sneak peek of all of our fall designs. Hi Lupe, hi Ruth, how are you? As you guys hop and say hello, let me know that you're here. I just started with just a simple coat of Windex because this thing, I literally base coated this probably almost a month ago, and it's just been sitting around. So I already know if I go try to do anything on this guy, I'm gonna end up my paint's gonna end up separating on me because it's got dust particles on it. So that's why you guys are seeing me use that Windex. So typically whenever I start on here, you guys already see some of it taped off, but y'all, my day has kind of gotten ahead of me, and like I said, I've been painting and cutting and all sorts of stuff today, and so I'm not as prepared as I typically am. So you guys are going to hang out while I tape, if y'all don't mind. I'm getting this ready for that buffalo plaid that we like to put down, and so basically I stick a strip of tape down, and then I grab that garbage piece, and I use that garbage piece as my spacer so that I have the consistent space in between every single piece that I am using. So as I go along, you guys see me pull up that garbage piece and move it so I can get that next piece set down. So that's all I'm doing right now, is just spacing out all of my tape so that I have the consistency of the width between my lines that will all look the same. I like my lines to be same width apart, have some symmetry to them. So for me, I prefer to do the diagonal just because when I do horizontal and vertical, I don't tend to have the straightest lines. And so if I try to do the horizontal and vertical, by the time I get done, sometimes they're a little bit cockeyed. So I prefer to do vertical as opposed to horizontal, or what am I saying, y'all? I cannot even keep my words right today. Horizontal and vertical is what I try to stay away from. My preferred diagonal. I just cannot talk. Hi Pam, hi Brian, how are you? Hey Lindsay, good to see y'all. Hi Michelle. So glad y'all can come hang out. All right, y'all. I got my lines put down for that buffalo plaid. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna end up getting boo-boos over here in between on that white space. I'll touch all of that up later. So I like to use baby wipes when I'm doing plaid for a couple of reasons. Number one, it dries really fast. And number two, I can prevent myself from using too much paint. I can pick up some of that excess. So this is just plain black paint. Hi Paula, great to see everybody. Thank you for coming and hanging out. I'm just gonna put a little bit down. I start with a little bit, y'all. I can always add more. I kind of already have this folded up. The only reason I'm really doing that is because I'm working in such a small area. One thing I can tell you is do one area at a time, and I go with the same direction that my tape is, okay? So if my tape is going diagonal, then I take diagonal kind of strokes, if you will, with that baby wipe. If I have it horizontal, I do horizontal strokes. That's just, I like consistency. I am a sucker for routine and consistency, and so as you can see, I kind of am just doing one little section at a time. And the reason I'm not trying to do all of these at a time is if you guys have ever done this, then you know this paint will dry really, really fast. And especially when you're trying to do a plaid, you want those strokes to come out really pretty. And so if I am jumping all around to all these different sections before finishing the previous section, you'll see all those strokes when they dry, and it just kind of looks a little bit, what's the word? A little sloppy, I guess you could say. And I definitely prefer it to look pretty and crisp and clean. All right, so I got that black on here, and I'm gonna pull up my tape. Y'all, you could recycle this, but I don't even mess with it. I simply pull it up, throw it away, and grab some more. I'm gonna grab my blow dryer, and we're just gonna hit it. It should be relatively dry, but we just wanna make sure that it's dry before I put any more tape down on it. And even then, if you like the horizontal stripes, you could have even done them in white and made it look like a candy cane stripes. That would have been cute too. But for me, I'm gonna stick with what my sample photo looked like, with the exception of my chevron, because the chevron tape that I have, I don't have enough of the thin tape. We'll get to that here in a minute. I'm gonna have to use a different chevron tape than what you guys did see in my sample photo. All right, so I have those diagonal lines. They're already dry. So basically when I'm going the opposite direction, if I just willy-nilly throw this tape on, then you can easily turn these into diamonds in the middle. I don't like the diamond look. I prefer all of my intersecting parts to be squares. Even though it might be squares at a diagonal line, that's okay. So I really just kind of eyeball, and I'm looking to just make sure that that looks squared as opposed to a true diamond. So from there, I put that trash piece down and use that trash piece as just my measurements. I just want consistency between each line spacing. So pull up that trash piece. Again, just using that for spacing. Pull it back down. Put down a new piece of tape. So basically every other piece of tape we leave on there. Now this little spot right here, that's really not even enough for me to mess with, so I'm gonna just leave it be. Put that, come right down. Again, I'm just eyeballing and lining it up. Y'all, I work with tape so often, I'm gotten kind of quick at it, luckily. Hi Amy, how are you doing, hun? Hi Carolyn, Amy, Rebecca, thank y'all for coming and hanging out. All right, y'all, we're gonna repeat that same thing right quick. I'm just making sure this tape is pushed down, grabbing that baby white, grabbing some more black paint. Simply, I just start with the dot. I'm not putting a whole lot, just a little bit. And again, I'm keeping this light. The reason I'm doing this light is because I want to be able to see where these lines intersect, and those intersecting parts are the only parts that I want to be a little bit darker. So I am purposely trying to keep this on the light side. I just think that's what looks best. And I am making a big mess, but good thing is we have time. We'll clean it up. We will clean it up. Just again, following along with that same diagonal stripe as my tape. Pull it up. And as simple as that, I'll show you guys up close. There is that plaid. I love how you can see where your intersecting spots are, that they're just a tad bit darker. Mary says to remind the Academy members, tonight there is a Zoom. Those of you that are our Academy members, that is our paid membership subscription. You guys, we have a Zoom tonight with a live Q&A at 7 p.m. I posted the link in Your Art Academy, so y'all can check that out. Hopefully y'all can make it. All right, now in my sample photo, guys, this is the chevron tape that I used. I found this on Amazon. I don't have enough to do this piece. You see, it's like a really, really thin chevron, and it basically has a sticker backing on it. I had posted photos of this about a month ago and let you guys know that I'd be using it. And I didn't go order me any more. So my bad, oops on me. Yes, the sample photo uses this, which is about a 1/2 inch. Now what I do have is, this tape is probably about 1 inch wide. This is a frog tape that is in chevron, so I'm just gonna be using this tape today as opposed to the thinner tape just because I don't have enough of this. So you guys, I'm so sorry, you'll forgive me. All right, it's gonna be kind of the same concept. We're going to basically, this one is kind of split down the middle. I'm gonna take that tape and I'm just trying to make it, you know what, I think I might even, no, I'll do it like this. See how this hoe in the middle is kind of tilted just a bit? So I'm gonna tilt that tape just a bit as well. I want it to kind of match. I'm gonna set down that top part, and then this bottom part, we just simply, if I could get it, simply pull up that paper and press that tape on down. Y'all, my hands are so dirty. I'm rubbing this on and that paint on my hands is kind of coming off. All right, and I'm basically gonna continue to repeat the same exact pattern with this tape as I'm going down. This one I'm not using a spacer because this tape is expensive. This one's like $20 for a roll. So I'm eyeballing. And whenever I'm doing chevron tape, I'm basically trying to make sure that all my arches are lining up, okay? So I'm eyeballing that distance between, and I just want to make sure that each arch kind of lines up with the one right above it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but that's what I'm going for. So I put that first half down, pull off that excess, and push it down. Let me grab what this actually looks like, y'all, in case if anybody wants a look at that. Here is the tape that I'm using, frog tape. It's chevron zigzag. I got it on Amazon. I want to say that Amazon sells it for $25. However, they had a few rolls that said it had damaged packaging. So they were only charging, like, I don't know, $12. And I was like, damaged packaging? Psh, I don't care about the packaging. I'll get the damaged packaging. So I really got them for half price. So I actually bought 3 rolls of this stuff. Just because how cool is this? It's fun. Again, just kind of looking, I'm looking and eyeballing right here and trying to just match up. And I'm now looking at that width between as well. So again, doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, something along those lines. Press it down, flip it back, pull off that paper backing on this bottom half, and push it down. Now, right here, I do kind of have a big gap. I am gonna go ahead and use another strip of tape because y'all, I want every gap to be as consistent can be. So let's go ahead and just use one more. I kind of, as you can see, I'm like eyeballing, almost just eyeballing where I need to rip that tape off. I'm just kind of going from there. I see some. Hi, Marie. Marie says, what? I didn't know that was a thing. How cool. Yes, girl. You know, and in fact, I didn't know it was a thing either until about last year. I don't remember who it was, but I was doing a live video and I was like, man, I wish that they had some chevron tape. And somebody watching the video was like, they do have chevron tape. And I was like, oh, okay. Sure enough, I go looking for it and I found some. Can y'all imagine having to like hand paint chevron or like even follow lines that might be drawn on there? That's hard. That's not the easiest thing to do. Okay, I got that chevron tape on there. And, ooh, y'all, I've already got a big mess. Let me get some of this trash out of my way because, whoopsie, I make a mess. And And again, anybody wanting to look at that tape, here's that frog tape, chevron zigzag frog tape that I'm using. Tiffany said, man, you covered that that white well. Mine doesn't cover that well. I usually have to do 2 or 3 coats. Tiffany, are you using, are you doing yard art or door hangers? That's the first thing. And then are you using a semi-gloss paint? Because, oh, y'all, I just spilt black paint all over my table over here. Oopsies. That will definitely make a difference. And then the paint that we use, if y'all ever buy paint from us, every single paint color we use is paint and primer in one. So it does not matter what color it is, we always buy paint and primer in one. All right. Now, got that tape. Now I'm making sure to get that tape pressed down, because your zigzags, your chevron would come out kind of fugly if we didn't. All right, I'm gonna go and we're just gonna use regular Christmas red, the same red that's on the back of the first hoe. And y'all, I think I'm gonna use like a fan brush. I wanna keep this light for the sake of getting it to dry rather quickly. And I'm basically just gonna kind of put some down. And right now, I'm gonna go with vertical swipes. This doesn't have to be perfect. We just need enough paint on there that it doesn't look pink, because the pink part can, you know, that won't be so pretty. Right here, I've got a line right there. So I'm basically just looking at those lines that are etched by my CNC, and I'm just taking this, we're using a fan brush. I'm really just using this one just so I can try to not overdo the amount of paint. And just kind of following those lines on that are etched on there. So almost like if you're base coating a piece, you're kind of just following along those lines that you would if you were base coating. All right, got one letter. Let's do the next one. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. I am going to be outlining and highlighting. I'm not that concerned if it's not perfect, especially if I'm crossing over those lines. Y'all, look at that first hoe. It already looks kind of funky. Good thing is we are going to do a little bit of kind of shadow shading on there. So it will help to clean up all those imperfections and boo-boos. Okay. Now I'm gonna hit this with the blow dryer. I just need it to get dry enough that when I pull this tape up, that paint doesn't kind of splatter out on the sides just a little bit. Tiffany says both yard and door. I have some of yours, but bought some bare when I ran out. I think mine is flat. Try semi-gloss. I have more luck with semi-gloss personally. That's just from my own experience. But I also am not somebody that ever uses craft paint. I only use exterior semi-gloss. All right, I haven't tried this pattern with this bigger chevron tape, so no promises as to whether it'll look good or not. I hope it will. Notice I'm pulling that up slow. I don't want to force any paint that's not dry to kind of come out. I got a couple little bobos right here. That's okay. If I can't clean it up with my finger, I can definitely clean it up with a paintbrush when we get done. Come up slow. Y'all, this is so satisfying to pull this paint or pull this tape off and just look at the beautiful lines. So cute. I wasn't sure how this bigger, like kind of thicker chevron would look, but I think it looks really cute. I think it'll look even better when we get our, what's it called? Outline and highlights on here. All right, so buffalo plaid, chevron, and then now we're gonna have some polka dot. I have this background right here is Christmas green, so I'm gonna use a little bit of lime green. lime green and Christmas green are just such great complements together. And now I know I had, see, I haven't thought so. I knocked off my dauber whenever I used my my blow dryer, knocked it into the trash can. I'm glad that I heard something get knocked into the trash can, so I knew where to even look. Y'all, this one's probably, I'm gonna say maybe 1.25 inches. This is a Martha Stewart, but I seem to be losing. Oh, you know what? Now that I'm looking at it, that almost looks too big. Hold on, let me see if I can find a better size. Yeah, I think I'm gonna switch, because look at the width of this. It's almost that same width as that of the letters. So I'm gonna switch to a little bit smaller. This one's probably 1 inch. I want them to be big, but not too big. Get me a little bit more paint. I don't know about y'all, but when I use sponge daubers, I'm always kind of surprised at how much paint really gets soaked up there. And as I'm going, I do want some of these to come off the edge. Hi, Amy. So glad you're here. Hey, Cheryl, Gail, Roxanne. How's everybody doing? I want some of these to come off the edge. And so when that does happen, I just kind of take my finger and just do a quick kind of clean up. It doesn't have to be, you know, perfectly cleaned. But I also don't want it to look really dirty. Come maybe over here. Y'all, this is how come my hands and my clothes get so dirty, is every time I wipe it, I just wipe it on my clothes. So I always walk around looking like a hobo, I guess you could say. In fact, I go out in public looking like this all the time. And people get used to it. There's a lot of people that know me now, and they're like, you don't, what do they say? They're like, you must paint for a living. I'm like, actually, yeah, I do. What gave it away? Can't be the fact that I'm covered from head to toe. All right, just kind of getting these, try to get as evenly spaced as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's the beautiful thing about hand painting, is there's no need or room for perfection. All right, polka dot, chevron, and plaid. Hi, Terry, how are you? Tiffany says, I do the same thing. Yes, look at these crazy clothes, y'all. I got that camera reversed, so yes, all day, every day. That's what I look like when I'm out and about. Okay, let's hit this with a blow dryer, and we're gonna start doing, we're gonna do a little shadow shade, which is something a little different than we normally do, and some outlines and highlights. It doesn't have to be perfectly dry. I just need it to be dry enough that it's not getting mixed with any paint that I'm gonna come and bring in. This red dried pretty quick over here on that chevron, so that's really, really good. Hi, Kimberly. Y'all, as I was saying at the beginning, those of you that might have missed it, we have a sneak peek live Monday night, 7 p.m. Y'all join me. And on our sneak peeks, what we do is we show you everything that we're gonna be doing for that next month. But our August sneak peek is all of the fall and Halloween and Thanksgiving items that we will do for the remainder of the year. And so whenever you come to a sneak peek, we basically show you every blank that we have. We show you a painted, finished version of that blank, and then we let you know if we have those templates available and that sort of thing. So it's a lot of fun. I hope that you guys can come and hang out. And yeah, let me grab my plate and let's hop on in. We're gonna do a little shadow shading. And what I mean by shadow shading is we're doing a shade on the outside of these letters to make it look like it has a shadow. Okay, so what I really am needing is a little bit of black and a little bit of white. Let me see if, notice how my white is kind of cut off. Like I've got a fatter tip on there and the black one has a more pointed tip. I'm gonna see if I have a white that has a pointed tip, because I need to actually do a double load. little bit harder if I don't have this exact amount of both colors. So basically this looks kind of off-white, but it should be white. Let's see. Hopefully it is, yeah. I basically am just kind of gonna make a line. All right, made a line of that white on that plate. Now I'm gonna take the black and do the same. And only thing I'm really trying to do is just make sure that they're the same thickness. Obviously my black does not come out the same thickness that my white just did. You guys see that? A little black and a little white, okay? Now I had considered, which I didn't do in my sample photo, but just maybe doing this kind of shadow shade on just one side, like maybe on the right side of the letters. But considering all this mess I made at the top, I might just have to do it all over the whole thing because y'all, I made a mess. I really made a mess. All right, I'm gonna grab, this shader's a little bit, is it too wide? That's a 16. What is this? I think this one's a 16. I got like a 14. Let me see. I might try this one. Good thing is I got multiple, so if I don't like the way it's turning out, that's okay. All right, this one's about a 14, a flat tip brush. We refer to it as a shader, but it's just a flat tip. What I'm gonna do is I have that black and that white sitting next to each other. I basically take that brush, I come in a little bit, I simply place the brush down and I pull. Okay, got half and half. Now I'm gonna come on the other side over here, again, place that brush down and pull. I really want, I got that camera flipped around, so this always confuses me. I really want a good lip of paint, okay? And obviously I need the white to be on the same side and the black to be on the same side. So I'm taking the, putting my plate on wet paint. Taking that black up against my lines. Now, I will be honest with you, sometimes whenever I'm doing this, it comes out better looking some days and other days not so much. It's kind of one of those things I just kind of play with. Maybe, hopefully you guys can see what that's looking like. It's kind of almost looking like a shadow. It's not that real stark. Let's see if I can even bring you down just a little bit. Not that stark, kind of thick, heavy shading that we typically do. So come back, go to load that brush, just pull it out where I got a lip, and do the same thing on this side. And come on right back in. Take that black is what's going up against my letters. Come back over here. Oh, need to get more paint. Now look, I got that black over here into the white. So what I'm gonna do, because y'all, sometimes I just make a big mess. I'm just pulling that black off that white side. Come back, let me get more white in here. And then reload. Reload it the right way. Okay, and come dragging on again. There is nothing to say that anybody even has to do this. You don't have to do it. You don't like it, don't do it. I really just feel like I'm making a bigger mess at this moment. It's not quite coming out the way I like it to. But that's painting sometimes. Sometimes you're like, yes, I've been successful and I've done it this way before and it'll work. And then it's like you go to do it and it's like, That's kind of what I'm feeling like right now. Come back, get a little bit more. Same thing over here. I'm gonna come in here on that center again. That black is going up against the lines and I'm trying to really keep that white in the middle. Notice the more times you go over it, that black kind of starts to turn into like a gray. It's not so black. Come back, load it up on my plate. Keeping that black on one side and the white on the other. Let's come over here. And just follow around those lines. Come back. See, this one looks really, really good. But it doesn't always You know, it just doesn't always turn out the way I really want it to. We keep playing with it. All right. There's basically a lot of loading. And this technique that you do have to slow down a little bit. I know a lot of times you guys see me and Mary, and we paint really, really fast. But this is the kind of technique that you just slow down, take your time, and you just kind of play with it. This is essentially some blending going on. And anybody who's tried blending before, you know it just takes a little bit of patience. Patience, practice, perseverance. Those 3 P's. I don't know about y'all, but I struggle with that patience part. I don't always have a whole lot of that laying around. This is coming out really pretty though. I just love it. You got that black too dark, that's okay. Just keep gliding right back over top. Notice every time I glide back over top, it kind of subtles out those colors. Some more. Come over here. Y'all, I do think this piece, it could be just as pretty without this step. I just like what this step adds. I just think it really kind of kicks it up a notch. So let's get some more paint. I don't have very much black. I'll get some more of that white. Here we go. Keep that black against those lines. Keep that white in the center. Whoopsie. Picked that brush up a little too soon and you could see that brush stroke. I try to almost lift straight up so that you don't see where that stroke starts and stops. Come back, get a little bit more. Pull that brush across. Just keep on going. What do you guys think of this kind of like a shadow? I call it shadow shading because essentially I'm just using the shading to create like an outward shadow. Is this a yay or a nay? Do you think it makes it look better or do you think it's just too much work? Because I can't disagree on the too much work if anybody does think that. Okay, keep on going, y'all. We're almost done. And I do think I'm gonna try to go back here up top and kind of clean that up a little bit because it looks a little funky. Come back. Load that paintbrush a little bit more. Just keep on going. All right, now we got a couple, we got to do this little piece and this little piece, and then we'll come back up top. I got a couple spots that look really terrible to me. So we will see if we can't get those kind of cleaned up a little bit. This center part's a little bit harder just because your spacing is really not there. I think what I'm going to end up doing is letting that dry and just bringing in some white. That's just becoming a mess. And notice I got that black over here on this white part of my brush, so I'm going to just simply take my napkin, pull all that paint out, and just pull straight down. Come back, reload. This is essentially, like I said, a blending technique. So, you know, if it's kind of not looking the way you want it, that's fine. Let it dry and you can go right back over top. That's the easy. Okay, I think that, to me personally, I think these letters, this hoe and this hoe looks good, but this hoe looks terrible. So I want to kind of come in here and clean it up. This line right here got really, really thick and that black was coming out pretty far. So I want to kind of soften up how far that was coming out. And you see how I have a little bit of black poking through right there? I can easily clean that up with a script liner, but I like how I was able to soften that a little bit and it just doesn't look so stark or bold right there. So come back, get a little bit more loaded. Let's see, I think I want to clean this up over here again. This is the nice part about this. You can literally go right back over top. Oh, see, that's looking better. That's looking a lot better. All right, just a little bit more. Little bit more, I think right here. And we'll just start here. There we go. Soften that up a little bit. Oh, y'all, this is so pretty. I just love this. All right, come in here. Again, this is kind of like those center, just that little tiny bit right in between. It's harder to do it in these really, really thin areas. Oh well, you know, I'm not that concerned. What I am gonna do is just bring a little bit more white in, not even loading more black, and just see if I can kind of clean up. There we go, clean that bit up just a little bit more. Y'all, I like it. I think it's really pretty. Everything else we'll touch up with script liners. All right, I'm gonna put that shader up and let's get a script liner and just do some outlining and some real simple highlights. Considering I just spilt that black all over my table before I went live, I need to refill. So, simply gonna put that black paint in here. I've got like a booger in here that's kind of stopping up that nozzle. Let me grab my other bottle. So basically, anytime y'all are seeing me using a 2 ounce cup, I basically put that paint in, and then I take a water, and I add a bunch of water to it. Ooh. And just get that mixed in. Hi Valerie, how are you? Hi Jamie Ann. Y'all, I have been just chit-chatting away. I really hope I didn't miss any questions or anything. I think a lot of you guys are just hanging out. Hi Dee. All right, getting that mixed up. I always add a little bit of water because I think it helps me. It gives me those longer, more fluid brush strokes where I don't have to start and stop and start and stop every couple inches. So I basically get it to like a watery type consistency, almost like a heavy cream. And so from here, I'm just cleaning up all those lines. So anywhere that CNC has etched lines, move these out of the way. I'm simply just following those etched lines. And so now is also the time when you're gonna see that kind of shadow shading that we just did. This line almost blends right into that too. This is just so cute, y'all. Pull this up. Move it around. You see how long I'm able to go before I have to load that brush up with more paint? That, my friends, is exactly why I add water. It allows that brush to keep on moving. Not only that, when I load this brush, y'all, it has a ton of paint in it. Come over here. Again, just following these lines that are already there. They're already etched for me. Come here in the middle, just kind of clean that one up. This is when all those little boo-boos and imperfections. Sorry, y'all. I had an incoming call. I'll have to call her back. Same thing. Come here around the O. All right, let's move down to the last hoe. Y'all, this pattern is one that I really enjoy getting to paint. You know, it's just a little different. I love playing with the tape and just getting some different, what is the word? I'm trying to say textures, but textures is not prints. You know, getting some like different prints on here other than just our same usual. And so I think that's also why I enjoy this one, is getting to do that chevron. That chevron tape is like game changer. So fun. Y'all let me know, anybody who has ever used the chevron tape, where have you found it other than Amazon? Because Amazon's expensive. It's like literally $25 for a roll of chevron tape. And I don't know if that's normal, or if that's just, you know, Amazon pricing. But I'm kind of cheap, so spending $25 on a roll of tape, it's kind of crazy to me. Okay, so there we go. We got that outline done. Now we're gonna simply just add highlights, and then I'll use that white to kind of clean up any little places on that shadow shading that I'm like, I don't care for that. Part about it is we can fix it. All right, switch over. I'm gonna get that white. Still, oh y'all, I'm using woohoo! Apparently I'm dripping paint. I'm using a Royal Gold script liner. This is a number 4. And again, this is really watered down. I'm gonna again say like a, almost like a, what is it called? A whipping cream kind of consistency. Now there's a couple little spots that my chevron tape kind of had a little bleed behind that tape, and that's okay. I just simply take that paintbrush and do a couple little dabs over top. Now from here, I just very light wisps. Nothing too crazy. You just kind of want to almost accent those letters. Now, even though this one has that white background, I'm still just taking that white across. Same thing up here and over here. Come to your bottom H. I basically load that brush and I'm almost using 0 pressure. It's very light. And there you go. What do you guys think? There is your ho ho ho. Hi Barbara. Barbara says, I like the larger tape. It blends better with the other size patterns. Really cool. Thank you, Barbara. I do like the I do like the smaller tape look, I think, better personally. I wish I had had enough of it, or actually got on Amazon and ordered myself some more, but I totally did not. Lindsay says, I used to buy chevron tape at Walmart and then they stopped selling it. So in order to save money, I've been cutting the chevron tape on my silhouette out of duck brand contact paper. Now that is smart. It's thick enough like vinyl to make good stencils and no bleed throughs. Now, Lindsay, that is clever. I love that. Nance says, love it. Thank you, Nance. Hey, Kitty, I didn't even see you here, my dear. Debbie says, looks so good. Thank you. So that is our ho, ho, ho. Let me take this white, y'all. I kind of got a little boo-boo right there. But that is pretty much it for this tutorial. So let's do colors right quick. Let's talk about colors. I did do 2 full coats, a white primer. Basically what I'm talking about with primers, I use a roller and put on 2 full coats of white. From there, I base coated the top hoe with Christmas red. The middle one I just left white, and then your bottom hoe is Christmas green. From there, my plaid, I used, let me see the width. This might be like 1.25 inches. These don't ever have the sizing on them. It does say number 2090. I'm gonna guess that's about 1.25 inches. Painter's tape, and used black to do our buffalo plaid here at the top. On the middle, the chevron, this is, goodness gracious, Ashley, I am just trying to make a mess, y'all. That is our frog tape chevron. I got this on Amazon. It doesn't say what the width is on here. Okay, 1.81 inches. So that's the chevron tape that I used right here on the middle, in which I did the lines in Christmas red, or just regular red, excuse me. And then down here, I used about a 1-inch polka dot dauber and did lime green. From there, we basically did a double loaded shading around the letters with black and white, and then highlighted, or excuse me, outlined in black and highlighted with a little bit of white, and that was it. Tabitha says, love it. Thank you, Tabitha. Hey, Wanda, Lou. Thank you, Lou. Lou says, beautiful. Y'all are just so sweet. Thank y'all for hanging out with me today. I have 3 more lives this week, so you guys will see me tomorrow, Friday, and maybe even Saturday. If not, I'll do 2 on Friday. So I hope you guys can join me. We have Drummer Boy, and we have the 2 shepherds left, and then all of our Christmas 2021 patterns will be complete with our sorry y'all with all of our tutorials. So Mary Kay says, love it. Thank you. You guys are just so sweet. Y'all know how to make a girl smile. Thank you, Carolyn. Carolyn says, love it. All right, y'all, I will see everybody back tomorrow. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day, and y'all come hang out tomorrow. Bye, everybody.